Olá, boa tarde. Estamos de volta com o último painel do nosso Tecno em 2023. E para começarmos os trabalhos, eu passo a palavra para o Jean Baptiste. É com você.
Okay. Muito obrigado e boa tarde a todos. Sejam todos bem-vindos ao quarto e último painel do segundo simpósio internacional em tecnologia da inteligência. Este painel trata dos desafios da sociedade 5.0. Então, agradecemos aos palestrantes e a todos vocês que reservaram tempo para participar deste painel. O tempo do painel é de 1 hora e cada dos 3 palestrantes tem 15 minutos para sua exposição. Assim, poderemos ter tempo de 15 minutos no final para debate. E quem vai conduzir esse momento como mediador é o senhor Alexandre Piana. Seu Alexandre, não sei se estou pronunciando bem o nome, Piana.
Perfeitamente, perfeito.
Ok.
Piana.
Percebeu certamente que eu estou lutando como português por enquanto.
Tá muito bem.
Ok, então sejam todos bem-vindos. O Alexandre Piana é Consul geral adjunto, diplomata brasileiro de carreira desde 2013. Entre 2015 e 2019, em Brasília, trabalhou em diferentes divisões do Departamento da América do Sul e do Ministério das Relações Exteriores. E no exterior, foi responsável pelo setor educacional da Delegacia Permanente do Brasil junto à Unesco, em Paris, de 2019 em 2023, antes de ser designado como cônsul geral adjunto no Consulado Geral do Brasil em Toronto, em fevereiro de 2023, onde é responsável pelo setor cultural e pelo setor de ciência, tecnologia e inovação. Então, ele tem uma boa experiência para nos ajudar mediando este painel. Então, seu Alexandre, a palavra é sua.
Merci, Jean-Paul. Thank you. Oui, je parle français.
Effectivement, oui, vous avez fait Paris.
Oui, c'est ça.
Vous avez perçu que je parle le français.
Ouais, j'ai vu votre curriculum.
Merci. Allez, a palavra é sua.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm based in Toronto, so I'm going to speak English. I think it's more people watching us that speak English. Anyway, as Jean-Baptiste said, I'm the Deputy Consul General of Brazil in Toronto. And I wanted to thank once more the organizers for inviting me for this symposium. And especially for today's panel about the challenges of society 5.0. I wouldn't like to talk too much right now because I really want to listen to our panelists and then we can maybe exchange some ideas. Let me just briefly present 3 speakers and then I'm going to give them the word. We have our first speaker, Mr. Midierson Maia. He's a PhD in communication and a professor and entrepreneur and founder of Preemptor AI Canada. We also have with us today Mr. Kelly Parke and from Schulich School of Business. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, Schulich, but anyway, very interesting curriculum. He worked as a consultant in in designing several creative strategies, advising groups and different groups in government, ranging from NFL to Canadian healthcare system. Pretty interesting. And finally, we're gonna have with us today from PUC, São Paulo, Mr. Arnoldo de Hoyos, who holds a graduation in chemical engineering mathematics from University of Nuevo León, Mexico, and also a PhD statistic from University of Berkeley, California. And without longer further ado, would like to pass the word to Mr. Midierson Maia. So Midierson, please, you have the floor.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Alexandre, for introducing me. I'm also Brazilian. I'm from São Paulo. I'm PhD from University of São Paulo. I was part of the TGS long time ago with Lucia Santaella, with Dora. And this is an amazing, amazing department that does an amazing work on artificial intelligence and try to understand the new technology in these days, right? Here at Toronto, I'm also a professor at Humber College and also a researcher. Now I'm currently applied researcher at Humber College. So when Austin invited me to be part of this panel, which the title is Challenges of Society 5.0, I got impressed with this proposal of Society 5.0. I'm researching artificial intelligence long time ago, but this is a new topic on Society 5.0, and I will address my presentation today based on a book called Society 5.0, A People-Centric Super Smart Society. That's the book. You can find easily this book on Springer, the platform. It's for free. You can have open access to it. And it describes this proposal on the Society 5.0. This is a very interesting proposal, but it raises some concern, at least for me, because I do research on ethics on AI, ethics, not only AI, but ethics on disruptive technology, everything that's like shaping the future, everything that's happening now in the market, and that's shaping the future is a point of observation from my perspective and also from my magazine. I founded a 25th Century magazine that's totally focused on discuss this topics and issues regarding artificial intelligence. So when I got in contact with this topic, Society 5.0, which is based on a data-driven society that uses data to not only control us, but also to deliver new solutions based on data, right? So yeah, why I think this is very important. It is bad or not? It is good or not? This is my question. I'm not like against technology. I love technology. I like technology. I think technology can be a solution for different problems regarding humanity. But also it raises concern because technology, as far as I saw, it's becoming a source of power and income concentration. That's my point. Because when I just observe social media, I observe everything that's been done right now on rhetoric. I'm also I do research in rhetoric and AI, in artificial intelligence and social media, digital communication. As I see now, technology, for example, social media and other types of technology that involves communication and rhetoric, it's no longer only about business. It is about power. This is about power now, right? It started as a business when Facebook and Twitter and other platforms, they started as a business 2 decades ago, right? Just to deliver optimized or more accurate advertising, but that became another thing. Now this is about rhetoric. This is about how those social media became a source of power, because who uses that? Who is using the social media now? That's the point. We have to address this ethical concerns and conversation about who is using this technology, right? And also when we discuss this society 5.0, we have to address these issues accordingly with an ethical framework, because again, it can be amazing. The book, the first chapter of this book, what is Society 5.0? The proposal here is like a brave new world, right? It's like a utopia that's saying the technology will solve all the problems, the technology will reduce poverty, the technology will make us happy, right? We have to be, how can I say that? We have to be careful with that, because industrial revolution is promising happiness since the beginning, right? My concern is who is controlling, who is behind, who will be behind that, behind the scenes of Society 5.0. What are the intentions? What are the intentions behind that? Because who controls the technology? Technology is expensive. Who can afford that? We can't afford technology, right? Especially when we think about artificial intelligence, those big corporations, Facebook, the big FANGs, they invested a lot of money to develop their algorithms and to develop their platform, and now they are still looking for return on investment. That's the point, right? My concern on this ethical framework, on the the proposal doesn't include an ethical framework here. I don't see that. I saw the table of content of this book. I see nothing about ethics, right? That's the point. We have to talk about ethics. If we want to transform the society into a society 5.0, according to this article, we have to talk about ethics. Otherwise, we're going to fail. We're going to fail this model. We have to talk about social justice. We have to talk about the power balance, because according to my perspective, I don't see power balance. Who are the guys that are controlling, especially the big FANGs? Amazon, Google, Facebook, they have everything about us. They know more about us than us, right? What happened with you if you turn off Google, if you stop using Gmail, if you stop using Google Drive, if you stop using all the services, who are you after that? That's the point. So we don't have this power. We are delivering data, providing data all the time. And what is the benefit for us? What is the value for us? The service? Okay, the service is good, but what is the cost? The cost is so high. And we are not in a society 5.0. If we get there, according to this proposal in the chapter 1, the whole book, we have to think about where we will go, where we will be there. How this society 5.0 will deliver value to us in terms of social justice, because if we don't create, I'm not talking about regulation, but if you don't create an ethical framework to help to build the society 5.0, I think this is inevitable. It will happen, but the ethics is always behind. That's what bothers me. The ethics is always behind. The market is ahead, and the ethics is always behind. We are just trying to run to fix things, but the ethics should be the center of this proposal about Society 5.0. The proposal is about creating a human-centric, a people-centric, super smart society, but I don't see this discussion on the power balance, the income concentration. I don't see also explanation on how it will balance the power, how will put the people in the center of this Society 5.0. If we replicate the same model that we are doing now, based on the capitalist model, based on return on investment, based on return on investment at any cost. Again, we're gonna fail. We're gonna fail. We are seeing what happened with social media. Social media, the threatening to democracies, the spread of disinformation, misinformation, disinformation, everything that's not good, right? That's why, because the big fangs or the social media became a profitable thing, a profitable business that's like based on everything. That's not only based on the truth, that's based on the disinformation, misinformation, everything, or conspiracy theories, everything is profitable, right? What make me worried is how this society 5.0 will prevent these bad outcomes, the drawbacks on the technology. That's the question, because who can afford that? Only big investors are just creating technology. Universities, they have also budget to create and research technologies, but sometimes I see also universities behind. The market is ahead, universities are behind. I don't see universities creating something big like Facebook and Amazon, the big corporations that are now shaping the way we perceive realities, right? I see people, they base everything, all the discourse, everything they say based on WhatsApp or based on Facebook, based on Instagram, but they don't like take a book. They don't like use a respectable article from a respectable university. Everything is about like superficial analysis of reality. Does it happen? Can it happen with Society 5.0? Maybe, or it can be even worse, because the Society 5.0 is based on data-driven. The proposal is based on a data-driven society. And there is, I'm not sure about my time, but let me finish my presentation here with one phrase that I read in this article. Let me see here. The information, but does this not happen already? The difference is that in Society 5.0, the resulting information will not just guide the operation of an air conditioner, generator, or railway, it will directly shape our actions and shape our behavior. Direct our actions and shape our behaviors. This is scary. I'm not scared about, for example, robots like Skynet, the Terminator. I'm not scared about it, because I think that won't happen, because the human being is still on control. What scares me is that it will directly shape our actions and behavior, which means manipulation through digital rhetoric. Manipulation through digital rhetoric according to intentions. And what are the intentions? Or who has the intentions? That's the point. That's my big concern. And again, we need to talk more about ethics in the context of Society 5.0. Again, we can't avoid that. It will happen. It's coming. But if you don't take this in consideration, we're gonna fail this model, and we bring new problems, new challenges to society instead of benefits.
Thank you very much, Mr. Midierson, for your words. I'll have some remarks about that reminded me my work back at UNESCO, but we could talk about that later. Let's continue with Mr. Kelly Parke. Welcome.
Well, it's great to be here. I've been to Brazil a few times, and Sao Paulo particularly, and I miss it. I tell you, the pandemic really threw a monkey wrench into things. So it's really nice to see everybody here and be here. And I'm going to just concentrate on a few areas. I won't use all my time today because I'd rather have more dialogue and concentration, but I'm going to bring up a couple of thoughts and ideas I'd like to share with you. And one of them things I'll share with you, by the way, so I started my journey with AI about 7 years ago. I was head of a design team that was charged with building the world's first cognitive tutor. And there was a group at Stanford doing the same sort of thing, so we sort of shared some ideas and notes on it. But I learned a lot along the way, not only about the technology of how to do this, but all the challenges, including ethics, as I'm glad my previous colleague brought up. That was a huge concern. I'm going to, when we talk about things, this is the current article or the current issue, it's kind of backwards on the screen, forgive me, but from the Harvard Business Review on reskilling in the age of AI. And it really talks about the issue we're going to have with education because AI, as the pace has become so rapid that the skills we're learning now have a shelf life of 5 years. And in some cases in the technology world, and to quote the article here, 2.5 years is the shelf life for a skill that's learned. So you have to build the reskilling into the organization. It's going to be super important. Now, the reskilling, you think it would be the sort of responsibility of the education system, the universities, colleges, and so forth to train students. But there, in itself, we need a massive transformation in the way we teach people because we're not set up to have the turnover so quick. We relied on IQ as a measure of intelligence. Then we interpreted more EQ, emotional intelligence, emotional quotient. I'm suggesting that what we really have to look at is AQ, or adaptability. Now, that's one thing that we don't talk about enough in education, but that has to be cornerstone, especially in this age of AI, the adaptability quotient. As a matter of fact, I had this discussion. I'm teaching a master's program right now in creativity at the Schulich School of Business in Toronto. And we had a discussion last night in class about this. Some of the people that were joining the class were from HR, and they had no way of trying to be able to pick people out and join people together on their traits and skills other than what was given to them by the universities, a degree and so forth, like computer science or something else like that. But they really weren't measuring adaptability. And with the evolution and changes in society and in industry happening so quickly, this to me was a natural. It had to be a very, a skill that everyone had to have, the ability to change and develop with new information or new technology because of the rapid change of pace. When I look at the education system, I look at something that's essentially 700 years old. When we look at the Socratic method and lecturing, and it hasn't changed a lot in 700 years. Even the public school education that's only been around for 150 years for the Industrial Revolution, that is locked in stone. The whole system is based on that. So imagine we're trying to have rapid development, we're trying to have adaptability built into the education system when it totally has to be rebuilt. So I think we have to do a lot of thinking, a lot of rebuilding in the education world in order to adapt, in order to get us to Society 5.0. I don't think the education system is nowhere near ready. And I'm not talking about somebody just entering the education system, from kindergarten or senior kindergarten and onward. We're looking at people continuing their education going back. If you're changing every 3 to 5 years as far as your skill set, you really need to have that as a basis of constantly not just reskilling, but new skills that are brought on to you that you need to work with your company. So there's two responsibilities here. There's the education system being reformed, but there also has to be, the thoughts in the company that we're going to have to build in reskilling as part of our organization. So I think that's one of the great things or challenges that AI has brought to the education system is the rapid pace of retraining or reorienting somebody into the world needing these new skills. And I think that's got to be one of our hardest things to do. And in my experience of building the first cognitive tutor, it was apparent that it was like taking a little paddle and trying to turn the Queen Mary, this huge ship. it wasn't going to happen easily and it wasn't going to happen overnight. So I think that's one of the things we wrestle with is how do we reform education within the organization, but also within the universities and colleges in order to meet the changing demands of people having to reskill or change quickly and also have that whole mindset. My class is made up of master students. So they're say 25 to 30 years old generally. I asked people to put up their hands last night of how many people have been in a job more than 2 years, and only 3 people put their hand up. So not only are they rapidly changing companies, changing skills, I think their education system has to model that someone, has to the ability to have the ability to rapid change and to understand what's coming next. And also to play a little bit of strategic forecasting, like look into the future a few years. So it's not just about what's immediate today, but how do we prepare ourselves for 2 years, 3 years? I won't hesitate with 5, that's way too long, but that look into the future in order to have this, what skills will be necessary. So that's just some thoughts I wanted to share with you today about how the challenge ahead, how we're going to have to reform education and that build that into each company, the ability to have to raise the AQ, the adaptability quotient, because everyone in the company needs to do this, not just at the C-suite, not just at middle management, but everyone within the company needs to have that. And I'll leave the rest for questions.
Excellent, Kelly. Very, very interesting comments on what I would call long life learning, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
And well, we can continue the discussion later, but first of all, let's give the word to our last speaker. Is he in the room with us, Mr. Hoyos? Yeah. So, Mr. Arnoldo de Hoyos, please.
Aquí estamos ligados. Tengo que ver un poco lo que estaban presentando, ¿verdad? Bueno, primero yo concordo con los dos conferencistas anteriores, uno porque colocó una situación que es importante, cuál es el proceso de transición y de evolución que la gente vive, siempre el sistema de poder, o poder da fuerza, o poder dos expertinhos que se organizan, hasta llegar al tema del poder dos valores, en el cual la sociedad 5.0 está caminando. Y otro sobre educación, yo lembro una reunión que fue muchos años atrás aquí en Brasil, en Brasil, en José dos Campos, donde unos especialistas faló, el problema de educación es que estamos utilizando una educación del siglo XIX para crianza del siglo XXI. Y un tercer comentario sobre eso es una reunión que estábamos en Unicamp organizando sobre evolución de esos procesos. Y se comentó que realmente el tipo de educación que la gente tenía es una educación que es una educación de robots y que robotiza a las personas. Entonces, son comentarios que me hicieron, me lembré ahora por lo que hablaron los amigos anteriores. Bueno, el tema de nuestra palestra es sobre ese proceso, digamos, de la transición que estamos esperando que acontezca para una sociedad 5.0. Y es interesante porque ya 2 décadas atrás prácticamente, gente ya tenía publicado un libro que fue con una alumna nosa sobre un tema que es un poco lo que está por detrás, da sociedad de conocimiento a sociedad de conciencia. Y vamos a hablar un poco de eso y ver cómo estamos caminando en ese proceso. Próximo. Entonces, solo para vocês saber, digamos, a sociedad 5.0, como está ahí, es una sociedad básicamente basada en una sociedad human-centered society, una sociedad centrada en el ser humano. Es interesante porque ahí modifica toda la visión que la gente tenga y procura, digamos, otras habilidades para desenvolver ese proceso, ¿no? Sí, Entonces, disculpa, tengo que aproximar más. Entonces, aquí tenemos a la secretaria de ese grupo, que en Japón, y ahí explica muy bien sobre cómo que la ve ese proceso, ¿no? Ahí ustedes ven cómo que ese porcentaje va aumentando. Japón es considerado un país que tiene un índice, coeficiente de inteligencia mayor, y también tiene una situación complicada que es la disminución de la población muy grande, ¿no? Una reducción muy radical la población que está aconteciendo ya hace un tiempo. La primera vez que yo fui para Japón, para un congreso, que espantado de ver cuántos lugares que inicialmente eran escuelas para crianzas ya estaban vacías o tenían alguna otra utilidad social o lo que fuese. Entonces, ya desde un tiempo atrás, digamos, eso es muy claro, que están viviendo una transición muy importante que hacen parte de ese momento, ¿no? Ok, bueno, ahí ustedes ven como que se está viendo ese proceso de evolución hacia esa sociedad centrada en los seres humanos, que también le llaman Super Smart Society, Super Smart Society. Y una. Bueno, eso para lembrar, digamos, a industria 4.0, tiene una transición muy grande en términos de tecnologías, que son algunas de las cuales la gente colocó ahí, y que terminan afectando todo ese proceso de transición que la gente está viviendo, ¿no? Y sobre eso que la gente tiene que analizar cómo que aprovechar mejor ese proceso y aprovechar de que no termine excluyendo más personas y al contrario, que pueda estar incluyendo más personas en esa transición para Sociedad 5.0. Bueno, ahí ustedes ven que esos nuevos modelos de negocio, bueno, ahí ustedes ven, utiliza una serie de criterios que ustedes ven desde el lado derecho, que no se ve muy bien aquí, nuevos valores nuevos valores que son los que están ahora en juego, ¿no? Y ahí, pues cuando tengan un poco más de tiempo, pueden olear para ver un poquito cómo está haciendo el proceso de esos nuevos modelos de negocio, ¿no? Próximo. Ahí, cómo ese tema de las plataformas de servicios son fundamentales para esta nueva sociedad, ¿no? Y ustedes ven que tienen todo tipo de plataformas, todo tipo de áreas en las cuales o proceso, Smart Manufacturing Systems, Global Environment Information Platform, o todos esos sistemas de plataformas, sin duda hacen parte de nuestra evolución en términos de tecnología que van a ser muy provechosos, ¿verdad? Bueno, sobre eso, entonces, la gente terminó montando un ranking, desenvolviendo un ranking, utilizando los conceptos de la tecnología, la sociedad 5.0 ya descritos, en particular por los personas de Japón. Y terminamos desenvolviendo un ranking, creando una serie de indicadores que nos ayudarían para considerar cómo que estaban los países, en qué estadio que estaban. Y ustedes ven que normalmente los países que estaban en un nivel más alto son los mismos que están en ese nivel más alto en otros indicadores. Por si no, Portugal y España están relativamente perto. Y ahí ustedes ven que Brasil está un poco más abajo. Entonces, la gente puede analizar cómo andamos y cómo están los otros países en relación con esta ranking de la sociedad 5.0. Entonces ya tenemos un ranking que puede ser acompañado por monitorado, digamos, para ver cómo están avanzando y qué características tienen esos países que están ya con un nivel más avanzado de 0 a 100 en ese ranking. ¿Y de dónde que son? ABECO son las Advanced Economies, ¿no? Economía normalmente usan de prácticamente de primer mundo, son muchas de Europa, ¿no? Y a otra que está por ahí aparece a Iberson, iberoamericanas, ¿no? Que son de Iberoamérica. Bueno, son los tres grupos que gente analizó: el grupo de las economías avanzadas o grupo de Iberoamérica, para estar comparando, y el grupo de las otras economías, que son muchos más que gente consideró una pesquisa, ¿no? Bueno. Próximo. Este es un mapa para estar viendo básicamente cómo que andan los países. Los que están azul más oscuro es que están supuestamente con el más alto, y las más clarillos menos altos. Se ven que en la región de Europa tengo muchos ahí, ven azules. Canadá, claro, es cierto. Chile, Argentina, supuestamente Chile, sí. Bueno, y ahí entonces vamos a el próximo. Y ahí interesante una cosa que la gente desenvolvió previamente a este ranking de Sociedade 5.0. Era un ranking de resiliencia. La gente utilizó una serie de indicadores, 40 indicadores, para desenvolver un ranking que analizase el nivel de resiliencia de los países. Interesante pues, es ver que los primeros 10 países en este ranking de resiliencia son los que están ahí, esos 10: Finlandia, Dinamarca, Suiza, Noruega, Irlanda, Austria, Alemania, Canadá, Nueva Zelanda, ¿no? Y también comparando con los 10 mejores en ese ranking de Sociedad 5.0, tienen algunas cosas parecidas. Pero unas cosas que es muy interesante considerar aquí es que la gente marcó en negrito, se ven en negrito, aquellos países en los cuales the head of state es una mujer. Ustedes ven que, ¿por qué? Que eso es muy interesante, porque ustedes ven que aquí, en el particular, en el tema de resiliencia, bueno, 6 de 10 países son mujeres que están a cargo de los gobiernos, ¿no? Ya sea como presidente o como primer ministro, siendo que 200 y tantos países, 140 países que fueron utilizados en esa pesquisa, 16% eran los que tienen jefes mujeres, o sea, de 16% a 60%. Es decir que, en principio, tiene algún valor especial en las mujeres que la gente hace que tienen que ver con empatía, por ejemplo, que hacen con que esa virtud, ese valor, esa postura, pasa con que los países evoluyan más rápidamente y mejor, ¿no? Entonces se ven que en el caso de Sociedad 5.0 tenemos Finlandia, Alemania y Nueva Zelanda, que son también mujeres como está. Y acá de ese lado, interesante porque utilizamos también algunos indicadores importantes. El Global Wellness Indicator está ahí, ustedes ven la relación más o menos que tiene con los otros indicadores, que es el Global Conscious Indicator, desenvolvido por Barrett en Inglaterra, el World Happiness Index, WHI, finalmente el de Sociedad 5.0. Ahora, es interesante que si ustedes ven ahí la relación entre el indicador de la Sociedad 5.0 es la mayor cuando uno está hablando de indicador de resiliencia, y el segundo mayor es el grado de conciencia, Global Conscious Indicator. Esos dos marcan más radicalmente que está presente en ese indicador de Sociedad 5.0 que la gente desenvolvió y que es importante para ver qué tendría que ser trabajado para mejorar, digamos, ese paso, o en qué medida eso va a ayudar en otros indicadores importantes como global. Happiness o Global Wellness Indicator. ¿No? Ahí en aquel mapa ustedes ven como que están relacionados, que unos con... Vuelta un poco, ¿no? El que menos está relacionado a aquel country, ¿qué? ¿El último? ¿El último? Ah, sí, World Happiness Indicator. No, country, sí, World Happiness Indicator. No es el que trae felicidad. Oh, es verdad. Vámonos. Oh, ahí, este es un pequeño tabla que muestra cómo los países, economías avanzadas, son los que están mejor en ese sentido. 78, casi dobro de la región iberoamericana y casi 3 veces más que los otros países, ¿no? Y ahí es el promedio más o menos lo que tengo. Ahí colocamos un comentario sobre eso. Y significa, la distancia significa un esfuerzo mayor para desenvolver nuevos enfoques. Lo que puede precisarse en Brasil es recuperar los 3 básicos principios de aquella bandera, digamos, que inicialmente tendría: el amor como principio, el orden como una base y el progreso como un fin. Hoy en día, y la bandera se cortó, o amor, no se sabe por qué, y se cortó orden y progreso. Bueno, además está ahí este grupo que está intentando promover de nuevo la recuperación de los 3 principios originales que se falaban en la bandera. ¿Ok? ¿Sí? Sí, no, y ahí es interesante porque aquí mismo, ya contamos con alguien que nos representa bien. Entonces, ahí está, Solángela ya tiene falado y troza camiseta para mostrar ya o camino. Entonces, tienen que pensar, no es una cosa por acaso que acontece. Y eso es interesante, no es por acaso, son esas sincronicidades de la vida que hacen con que eso possa se manifestar. ¿No? Aquí puede ser, pasó en ese momento, pueden tirar una foto para usted. Entonces, y aquí, nuevamente continuando con ese tema, las relaciones inter y transpessoales, entre el tema de la conciencia y de la sincronicidad, que ya falaba Jung. ¿No? Jung escribió un libro sobre sincronicidades. Y eso tiene que ver con el nivel de conciencia. Entonces, más eso se manifiesta espontáneamente, o sea, existe una dinámica que acontece muy especial, digamos, que hace con que ese nivel de conciencia nos permite estar conectado con acontecimientos que están por ahí y que son señales de que estamos evoluyendo en el sentido de ese nivel de conciencia. En particular, solo para ver esa asociación, aquí en la PUC tenemos una profesora, una maizona, Ivani Facenda, está haciendo una homenaje para ella ahora en la quinta. Y la gente tiene mucho contacto con el profesor Ivani, y ella es una persona que realmente consiguió una formación fundamental en las alumnas que se graduaron aquí en la PUC en el área de educación por muchas décadas, ¿no? Ok, entonces vamos a... Y esa celebración de ella va a ser ahora en la quinta, ahora en esta quinta. Bueno, y hablando de esas sincronicidades, no por acaso...
sorry, Mr. Arnoldo, Mr. De Hoyos, sorry, just
Yes.
we're a bit short of time. I guess we
Yes.
have still 15 minutes. I don't know if you could
Sí,
wrap
closing.
it up. We can pass to debate a little bit. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Okay, we are almost close. Bueno, solo para hablar de esas sincronicidades, curiosamente, al mismo tiempo que estaba aconteciendo ontem ese evento con la Lucia, estaba aconteciendo el lanzamiento de un libro, una palestra de una figura, Haydn, sobre o tema que esse livro é sobre esse caminho do coração. Caminho do coração. Aí está o livro, foi lançado ontem. Foi lançado ontem, ok? Caminho do coração, do coração. Bom, está o coração. Bom, isso para a gente se sensibilizar, e estou terminando, sensibilizar, que tem algumas ideias que nos podem trazer novas visões do mundo e nova forma de entender o que está acontecendo e nos sincronizar nesse processo e fazer a nossa parte. Muito obrigado.
Thank you, Mr. Arnoldo. Jean-Baptiste, how timing? How long does it? Do we have how many minutes? Do we have some time for debate? Or?
Yes, temos 10 a 15 minutos para perguntas.
Right.
Uhum.
I would have
Então,
some questions, but I prefer waiting.
As perguntas.
Yeah. Have received any questions by the chat or not?
No.
No.
Não temos perguntas para no chat.
Temos
Okay.
pergunta na audiência aqui, presencial.
Okay.
Posso seguir com elas?
Com certeza. Obrigado. Thank you. Let's go ahead.
Boa tarde, me chamo Luiz Eduardo Viegas, sou doutorando na PUC São Paulo. Agradeço aos painelistas, as contribuições. E primeiro gostaria de fazer um comentário. O professor Midierson destacou muito a questão de fundamentos éticos como importante para a sociedade. Eu não discordo disso, mas, na minha opinião, isso acaba sendo um conjunto de boas intenções que não necessariamente se tornem eficazes. Eu acredito fortemente que a gente, como sociedade, precisa romper a resistência que ainda temos em relação à regulação, obviamente que sejam regulações efetivas, né? Mas que comece, de alguma maneira, a implementar guardrails que ajudem a impor maior rigor no uso responsável de dados, algoritmos e plataformas. E emendando com uma pergunta ao diplomata, direciono ao diplomata Alexandre para que conduza a opinião dos painelistas, mas eu gostaria de escutar a opinião de vocês com relação a como enfrentar, em curto prazo, alguns dilemas entre escopo de legislação nacional ou regional, no caso da Europa, frente à transnacionalidade de algumas organizações, que em alguns casos sequer têm presença em alguns países.
Thank you very much. Very interesting question. One I keep asking myself, actually. I don't know. Do we? Do our speakers need me to? You could understand the question. The translation, it worked well. Yeah. So I can give you, if you want, each one of the speakers opportunity to ask that in the same order. So let's start, Mr. Midierson, if you would like to make some remarks on that.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
We can hear.
Yeah, let me switch to Portuguese. Because
no
I
problem.
will address this question. Sorry, qual o seu nome? Desculpa. A pessoa que fez a pergunta, você consegue...
Luiz Eduardo.
Luiz Eduardo. Luiz Eduardo, obrigado pela pergunta. Você poderia reformular melhor, porque eu não entendi muito bem quando você colocou a questão das organizações transnacionais. Quais organizações transnacionais você mencionou?
Falando principalmente plataformas, né? Para resumir, tivemos alguns exemplos aqui no Brasil, até em dificuldades de encontrar representantes legais de algumas plataformas. Então, como um exemplo, plataformas, mas que isso mais e mais pode se repetir com outros tipos de organização.
Então, a sua pergunta, você pode reformular a pergunta de novo, só para eu entender melhor?
Claro, perdão. Qual a opinião de vocês com relação a maneiras de lidar com esse dilema entre o limite das legislações nacional, no caso do Brasil, ou regional, no caso da Europa, frente a esse desafio que, em alguns casos, sequer existe presença de organizações num país, né?
Ok, eu entendi. Eu acredito que essas plataformas, incluindo Google, Facebook, todas as FAANGs, as grandes plataformas, elas são plataformas norte-americanas, né, que têm uma operação nos Estados Unidos, elas seguem a legislação norte-americana, mas, na minha ótica, quando elas desembarcam num país como o Brasil ou qualquer outro país, elas precisam respeitar a soberania nacional e as leis nacionais. Existe um caso do Google, recentemente, que eu presenciei, né? Independente se... esse caso é sobre a lei que estava sendo passada, tentando passar no Congresso, sobre a regulação das plataformas. Independente se a lei é boa, se a lei é ruim, não vou entrar nesse mérito, mas eu acredito que, na minha ótica, houve um desrespeito muito grande de uma das plataformas, que é o Google, em relação à crítica, em relação a tentar manipular o debate, né, no Brasil, na época, para pressionar o governo, manipular as pessoas. De novo, né, a gente está falando aí daquilo que eu mencionei aqui no artigo, né, que é você, numa sociedade 5.0, né, it will directly shape your actions and behavior. Isso já existe, isso já está acontecendo, isso já está acontecendo. Mas eu acredito que essas plataformas elas precisam respeitar, né? Independente se ela está na África, independente se ela está na França, no Brasil, mas esse framework de legislação ele precisa ser respeitado para que isso segure, né, abusos, né? De novo, essas plataformas elas são negócios, né, que são de capital aberto, elas precisam entregar resultados para os seus stakeholders, mas eu acredito que deve haver limites, né, em relação a isso, porque senão a gente acaba sendo afetado por essa lógica do capital, né? Eu não estou fazendo ode a comunismo, a socialismo aqui, não. Esse não é o objetivo. O objetivo é pensar uma sociedade mais justa, com ações justas, e o capital ele tem essa tendência em invadir o espaço porque a pressão por retorno sobre investimento é muito grande. E eu acredito que é por isso que essas plataformas elas ainda não resolveram o problema da misinformation and disinformation, mas eu acredito muito nisso. Eu acredito nessa questão da regulação, não uma regulação que vá barrar completamente o negócio deles, não acredito. Eu não sou inimigo dessas plataformas, eu acho que elas têm muito a oferecer para a sociedade, elas podem oferecer para a sociedade, mas eu não estou vendo um uso efetivo e justo, né? Essa questão, essa é a minha, vamos dizer assim, essa minha bronca, essa minha birra com essas grandes plataformas, porque no meu ponto de vista, elas não estão respeitando alguns limites.
Obrigado,
Temos mais uma pergunta
Midierson.
aqui.
Sim, não sei se nós passamos para a próxima pergunta, se nós temos tempo, ou deixamos os painelistas terminarem de responder a primeira pergunta, se eles assim desejarem.
Sim, ainda temos...
Temos um tempo? Então vamos ouvir a segunda...
4 ou 5 minutos ainda.
Vamos ouvir a pergunta, então, e passamos ao Kelly, e daí talvez ele possa escolher um pouco o que ele quer responder. E depois...
Posso perguntar?
Pode.
Obrigado, senhores. Meu nome é André. Minha pergunta, eu vou usar um pedaço aqui, vou fazer a pergunta para o Kelly, se possível, porque acho que é um tema relacionado aí com o que o Kelly estava comentando, mas pegando assim a origem do tema pelo Midierson, que é o tema da assimetria de poder, né? A concentração do poder e a assimetria, né, do poder econômico, que o sistema funciona. Para qualquer investidor ou para qualquer pessoa que tem um fundo de pensão, né, ou tem a pensão lá no mercado de capital, né, no Wall Street, a gente depende desse sistema, hoje é assim. Então, independente de ter uma assimetria do poder econômico, né, e uma expectativa de retorno do investimento para os investidores em bilhões de dólares em pesquisa e desenvolvimento, que há dessas grandes empresas, existe hoje, a gente vê uma assimetria do poder do conhecimento, que talvez seja mais crítico a longo prazo até do que o poder econômico. Então, essa simetria do conhecimento, né, desse poder do conhecimento, que preocupa muito, acho que a comunidade acadêmica, principalmente, né? Então, assim, quais projetos, não sei, Kelly, você que está estudando isso, você vê, seja nos Estados Unidos, né, no Canadá, ou na Coreia, seja onde for, projetos que realmente está pensando de forma efetiva no reskill ou no upskill de profissionais preparados para poder ter um balanço melhor nessa simetria do poder do conhecimento.
Yeah, I think it's all, you're right, it's about balance. But I think what's interesting, what will happen, the biggest projects we're working on right now is where we're bringing artificial intelligent agents inside of an organization almost as an employee. So it's interesting, we've got to the point where we're even considering having certain board members being artificial on systems. So it's going to be very, very interesting how we sort of play that. It really is a power balance, but I'm not sure how we're going to address that. I mean, as far as economically, and also, knowledge really is power, and who owns that particular knowledge? I think there hasn't been new knowledge for a long, long time. I think we're just reiterating knowledge anyway. But who controls how the design of things happen, how things roll out, that will be incredibly effective. I think that, for me, is the big essence here. I just also wanted to comment on the last question, if you don't mind, because there was something very important there. We actually have patterns of how regulation will happen in history of like television broadcasting and things like that. So we actually have patterns of how, I don't really like a lot of government interference, but there are things that we can learn from that have happened over the last 80 or so years, and how we manage that part of the television spectrum and signals coming in and out. I think that's something that we sort of have to capitalize on. We almost have to have another CRTC, or Canadian Radio and Television Commission, but for internet. That's going to be very, very tricky how we manage that. There's a lot of groups studying it right now. There's a large consortium right now between the universities in Southern Ontario that it's over $300 million investment and project to try to figure this out. So I haven't got the answers for you on your question, but that's the things that we're researching right now. And look for studies to come out of this consortium based from Kingston, or from Queens, from University of Toronto, and York University right now.
Thank you, Kelly. Very, very good questions. I'm very happy I didn't have to ask any questions, because no similar things I was thinking. We don't have much time, but it's a very interesting topic. Just a quick remark from my part. I was working at the Brazilian delegation to UNESCO before coming to Canada. And the UNESCO has reached an agreement. It's the first ever multilateral agreement on the ethics of the artificial intelligence. But it's a framework, guidelines. So it's up to each country to set up its own rules in respect to that. And how it's going to be, how it's going to evolve, I really don't know. I would like to debate that. I'm afraid we don't have that time. If you want to talk, I'm available with Brazilian Consulate. The colleagues from the FCBB, they have my contact. Please feel free to reach me out. And I'm surely gonna reach out to our speakers later on. Jean-Baptiste, I don't know if we have any time left. If Mr. Arnoldo would like to comment, very quickly on those questions. If not, I leave it up to you. Thank you.
Exato. Se tiver ainda uma pergunta rápida, porque o tempo já acabou, podemos fazer uma pequena colocação, sim, rápida.
Okay. Arnoldo, Mr. De Hoyos, would you have any remarks on what has been said about the questions?
Bom, sí, obrigado por me pedir, porque fiquei también pensando en relación con a Solange y su propuesta aquí que trouxe revolucionaria, sobre o amor. También no es só você, también el Papa Francisco ahora en su visita en Mongolia falou muito de que él sintió de cierta forma la aproximación con Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. No sé si ustedes alguna vez escucharon de Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. Y Pierre Teilhard de Chardin es un fantástico. Y uno de los comentarios que en un momento dado él fez, que tienen que ver con su propuesta, Solange, era lo siguiente. Él decía, in the future, after harnessing the energies of sun and winds, and waves and gravitation, human beings will harness for God, no, harnessing, aprovechando, harnessing the energies of love for God. And for the second time, humans will have discovered fire. Fuego. Ok. Então, só isso que queria mencionar, a importância disso que Solange nos trouxe. É o que está por trás de tudo. Nós somos mente para ter conhecimento, mas temos coração para ter sentimentos. E isso a gente tem que conhecer e utilizar cada vez mais e melhor. Obrigado.
Obrigada.
Well, thank you, Arnoldo. Thanks, everybody. Jean-Baptiste would like to close the panel.
You are on mute, sorry.
Yeah, I was passing on the word to you, asking you if you would like to close the panel now. Say a few words to you. Back to you. Thank you.
But he's been on mute. He did not realize he's on mute.
Jean tá sem áudio.
Perdão.
Pronto.
Falando da tecnologia, ainda estamos... desculpe. E, então, estamos terminando o painel 4, que tratou dos desafios da sociedade 5.0. Então, muito obrigado ao senhor Alexandre, moderador deste painel. Muitíssimo obrigado.
Eu que agradeço.
Espero poder dia falar o inglês como o senhor. E obrigado aos palestrantes também por suas brilhantes exposições. E obrigado a todos vocês que participaram presencialmente ou remotamente, mostrando muito interesse ao tema que é bem atual e que interpela todo mundo a todo momento. Então, muito obrigado. Assim se encerra o último painel. Gratidão a todos e particularmente ao professor Marcelo que se dedicou na preparação deste painel. Muito obrigado. Passo a palavra para o auditório.
Obrigado, Jean-Baptiste. Primeiro, quero agradecer aos que participaram, né, aos palestrantes, ao professor Kelly Parke, ao professor Midierson, ao embaixador Alexandre Pina, pela participação. Agradecer a todos que assistiram presencialmente pelo TID Digital. Agradecer ao professor Hoyos conosco, Karen, ao Celi, Jane, todo mundo que trabalhou para esse simpósio. Agradecer aos colegas da Universidade de Toronto, a Toronto Business College e a Humber College, por esse encontro. A Karen também vai fazer alguns agradecimentos.
Só antes de finalizar, eu anotei aqui alguns nomes, eu fiquei com medo de esquecer, pode ser que eu esqueça de alguns, mas a gente quer realmente agradecer a toda a equipe de apoio técnico que esteve com a gente, a comissão organizadora também. Então, por eventos, a Lígia Alves, ao DTI, Humberto, Diego, o apoio na transmissão do Luiz Felipe, pessoal aqui do Tuca, Sérgio, Júnior, Luca, Fukuda, enfim, todo mundo, TV PUC, a Secretaria do TID, Jéssica Leite, Comunicação e Design, Patrícia, Basílio, Raquel, Michele Eguchi, tradução, a equipe de tradução da Target, Suzana, Andréia, Cecília, Flávia, Isabela, Patrícia e Samanta, sobre o evento de ontem também, da professora Lúcia. Então, agradecer Fabiana, Rafael, Dominique, Bruno, Diego, e toda a equipe de coordenação, ao Celi, professor Marcelo, obrigada pela oportunidade, pela confiança, Bruno, Cris, Francisco, Guilherme, Jenny, Paula e Werner, muito obrigada para todos e eu espero que a gente esteja junto ano que vem no nosso terceiro Tecnoin.
Obrigado a todos.
Obrigada, gente.
Obrigado. Thank you all.
Obrigado.
Thank you, everyone.